Mike, you want to start?
Yeah, Bronny, first of all, obviously you grew up here and you could hear the crowd, starting to buzz in that fourth quarter. How, when you check into the game, do you kind of keep your composure, play the right way and not force anything, and then eventually you do get the jumper and hit it? How do you kind of mentally go through that whole thing?
I just say, I've been just taught to play the right way my whole life, so just me going in there and playing my game is always something that I'm gonna do. So yeah, just going in there with that same mindset and keep my head leveled and trying to still play my role.
And LeBron, just looking for your perspective on that moment as well, and all the times that you've had here, Bronny, growing up here, seeing him in the game, seeing him keep that composure like that. What was your sense of it all?
My sense is that he's better than I would have been in that situation. 20,000 fans screaming my name to get in the game and wanting me to be in the game. And if the roles reversed, I don't know if I would have been able to handle it. So just commend him on his composure, the way he approaches not only the game but just approach life in general. And to see him get his first NBA basket in this arena where he grew up, not too far away from here. It's an unbelievable moment. Unbelievable moment for him. First of all, for our family, it's just pretty cool to be a part of it.
Quick follow up for both of you, I guess. But that moment, you certainly feel a lot of love, but that also does seem to come probably with some pressure. Just everybody watching, everybody wanting something to happen. Is that how it feels, and how do you kind of come through?
Pretty much been the same thing for 20 years and a month now. So, it's just something that comes with it, I guess. But it is what it is.
For Bron, how are you feeling? You sound worse than when we talked to you on Monday. And what have the last 4 or 5 days been like dealing with this illness?
Just working my way through it, obviously. It's kind of that time of the year. Summer's over, fall hits, and working my way through it, taking care of my body, trying to get as much rest as possible, stay hydrated. Make sure I'm getting the nutrients and everything that I need as it passes. But I had some decent energy today, not my usual, but still happy to be out there and be able to contribute a little bit while I was on the floor.
Dan?
One for each of you guys, LeBron. JJ and AD kind of both said that this was like a pretty bad regression for you guys in terms of the way you want to be playing. What do you think caused that? What did you see out there in terms of the way you guys approach this game offensively?
Offensively?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we matched our energy. I think they're a really good team and playing some great ball in the early season. I don't think we matched their intensity to start the game. Obviously, Donovan started off with a hot streak in the 13 early points, and I just don't think we matched their intensity with energy and effort. So it's never good to take a step backwards, but we did that, and now we got to figure out how we can take 2 steps forward next time.
And Bronny, I know you try to stay in these moments, not make them more than what they are, but when did you first dream about getting an NBA basket, and I guess how did the feeling compare to what maybe you thought it would feel like?
Pretty much since I picked the ball up. Been watching this guy for a minute playing in the league, so just dreaming of me being in those players' steps, not only his but players that he's playing against and with. So yeah, it was just a dream come true for me. Felt really good. After the fact, I was still in game mode when I hit the shot, so I didn't really acknowledge it while I was playing, but yeah, it felt good after.
LeBron, we spoke with Eddie this morning. He mentioned offensively the need to be more organized. That was one of the reasons why you guys had the 14-point quarter in Phoenix tonight. Seemed like sometimes you guys were in and out of being organized. What's required in those moments to get back to where you guys want to be in terms of organization, structure, running what you guys want to?
I think communication, knowing what we want to get to. There are times out there where we're a little unorganized, and I think it's still, we're still early on getting a new system in. So, getting guys in the right position, getting guys in the right spots, having communication, putting guys in the right spots, and either looking at the coach for a play call or whoever handling the ball, trying to get guys in the right position. So, it's still a new system. I mean, we just got together late September, so we're still trying to, get through it and figure each other out. But I think the film sessions, the shoot-arounds will definitely help progress, and we got to get better with it.
Bronny, you told us at shoot-around you planned on kind of taking in the atmosphere. So what did you see? What did you hear? Who did you see? Kind of one of the memories you think you're going to take away from tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it was insane. Much more than I anticipated, for sure. But it's all love. Like it was insane. It was a nice moment. The chants really got me. Like I was straight faced, but like I felt it, and it felt pretty good. Especially coming from here. But yeah, I mean, it was a special moment for me, for sure.
And LeBron, speaking of the love, just how did it hit you the way the city, your former franchise, kind of embraced the James family tonight?
We spent a lot of years. I mean, we're part of this community, obviously. We're not too far. We was born not too far from here, 35 miles south of here, our hometown of Akron. And, I spent 11 years of my NBA career, so half of my career was spent here. So he's seeing it to where he didn't really understand the game of basketball. Then when I came back, he knew everything about the game of basketball and continued to get better and learn. And while I was, in my second stint trying to win a championship for the city. So we have so many great moments. Not only on the floor, at this arena, no matter what the name is, if it was the Gun Arena or the Q, and now is Rocket Mortgage, I believe it is now. So a lot of great memories on the court, but a lot of great memories off the floor as well. So, in this community. To have the mutual respect and the love, for what we was able to accomplish in the years that we were here, it's definitely very humbling, and we don't take it for granted every time we get to come back and either play the game that we love, which we did tonight, or just be home and just be in the community. And so it's pretty cool.
Last three. Gentleman in the blue shirt, Bill Wiley, and gentleman in the blue last.
LeBron, what does it mean as a parent to watch your son realize a dream?
It's the greatest thing in the world. Kids always have these dreams when they're super young, and as parents, you just you try to put them in a position that's at one point throughout their lives that maybe that dream can become a reality if that's what they want to do. And he said from day one, his little brother said from day one, the game of basketball is what they love and that's what they want to do. And between myself and Savannah and our supporting cast of our friends and family, it was just for us to be their support, give them the guidance, give them the tools, give them the whatever they need to be able to possibly reach their goal to where it could become a reality. And to see that he is in the midst of his reality and his dream at the same time is just super cool for a parent. And and to see what he does when the camera's just not rolling is even more gratifying. The hard work that he puts in every single day to continue to get better and better at the profession that he chose. It's very gratifying, very cool, very humbling, and just proud, super proud of our kids. Myself and Savannah, we're super proud of Bronny, Bryce, and Zuri. They're just awesome.
LeBron, you've been cheered and welcomed back here many times, obviously. But tonight, when they played the tribute video in the first quarter, it was you and Bronny being welcomed back to Northeast Ohio and being cheered. And how did that hit you when there was a standing ovation for both you guys to get shouted out like that?
It was a pretty cool moment. I didn't really get an opportunity to kind of seize the moment because we was getting our ass drugged at that moment. So I was a little angry. At that point in time during that timeout, so I didn't get an opportunity to really appreciate it. But I heard it, and then when they said his name too, that's when I kind of looked up, and I believe I tapped him on the leg. I believe, that was just pretty cool though.
Last question, Wiley.
LeBron, I spoke to Bronny about this earlier, but I wanted to ask you. Yesterday, I interviewed his middle school PE teacher, and a very specific adjective he used is he told me he realized Bronny was very selfless early on. When you hear something specific like that, what does that say about your son and the future he has?
Well, Savannah is the rock in our household, and I spent a lot of time on the road. Obviously for my career, and but Savannah sets down the law. She sets down the rules. She sets down the guidance. She does it all. So to to know that I could sprinkle in my little bit of ingredients to to her unbelievable recipe, and to hear teachers or parents or anybody speak high of our kids is a testament to our household. And to be able to hear that from a middle school teacher or from a parent of a classmate of theirs, that is some of the best things that we can hear. It means that what we're doing and what we're preaching in our household, they're taking out into the real world. And to know that it's never about them. It's about the people around them. They love being around people. They love people to feel just as important as they are, either if it's in the classroom or at sporting events or wherever the case may be. It's just super cool. So that's how I was raised. That's how my wife was raised, and we just try to give our kids the tools as well to, wherever they end up in life, to be able to use that, because it don't cost you a dime to be nice to people. It don't cost you a dime, So that's what we're all about. We don't believe in the hate thing. So it's pretty cool to hear that. Appreciate it.
Well, Austin, this is the first game that hasn't been competitive, for you guys. I know you're not used to that. Cleveland kind of jumped on you. What did you see as to why that happened and how you guys can change that going into Toronto?
I just thought we were bad on both ends. I didn't do a good job out the gate guarding Mitchell. He got going fast, and then offensively we just wasn't organized, which was random, because I feel like offensively we've been very organized with what we've been doing. So look at the tape, try to get better.
AD mentioned that too, and the spacing and kind of the lack of organization. Where specifically is that? Like, is that on the perimeter? Where was the spacing and the organization not there?
I think a little bit of everywhere tonight. It was just really bad on our part. It's nothing to do with our system, nothing to do with anything but the guys that was on the court. We got to be better. That's about it.
What does it feel like? I mean, obviously you guys on the court know you're not doing what you're supposed to do, pretty early. What does it feel like when you can't find it? How frustrating was it?
Very. It sucks. Yeah, it's just not what you want. Wished it was the opposite.
You guys came into tonight, I think, tied for second worst in terms of just opposing fast break points. How much is that related to the offense not being organized in certain moments? And that was emphasis for you guys last season. What needs to go into that to just cleaning that part of things up?
Being organized offensively, getting good shots, not turning the ball over helps those. But you just watch the film and get better. We got to be better in a lot of aspects of the game, and that being one of them.
Austin, Bronny got his first basket in his NBA career. The crowd was chanting his moment. What do you see from that moment?
Oh, it was beautiful. When they started chanting his name, I thought that was a really cool moment. Obviously, with Bron spending all the time that he spent here, bringing Cleveland a championship, and obviously Bronny being around here so much, probably running around. That's probably not his first bucket on that goal, so he's probably made a lot of jump shots just hanging around. Bron growing up, but it's just a beautiful thing. Someone that works hard every single day. So you want to see guys like that succeed.
Thanks, AR.
Thank you.
AD, first of all, did you tweak something? Looked like you were kind of grabbing at your middle or hip area.
Yeah, tweaked my hip in the first quarter.
Is it one of those things that you could play through? It was just sore. How does it feel after the game?
A little sore, kind of like jammed it, but I'll be fine. Just bothering me throughout the course of the game, but no, that'll stop me from playing.
The season so far is that every quarter's been pretty competitive. It seemed like there was a little bit less so in the first half. They jumped out by double digits pretty early. What did you see early in this game, and how did that portend through the rest of it?
We let him get comfortable early on, especially Donovan Mitchell. They kind of just fed off his energy in their first quarter. And offensively, this is the first time that I can say offensively where we were, what I talked about in shoot around. We wasn't organized. Our spacing was bad, which caused to a ton of turnovers, ton of bad shots, which led to transition for them and the points off turnovers. We didn't shoot many threes tonight. We had 20 plus 20 turnovers tonight, something around there, which is uncharacteristic of us. Just a bad game on both ends of the floor, honestly. And it started with our first five. Like I said, we didn't come out, defensively how we were supposed to. And then offensively, we were just bad. So we can't, allow that, to happen. Obviously, still early season, but we got 3 more games left on this road trip, and these are all 3 are must-wins.
JJ talked about regression when it came to the stuff you were talking about in terms of organization and different things like that. Some of that is to probably be expected when it's a new team and it's new. But I was going to say,
not expected, because we know what we're doing. Even though we're a new team, we've shown in 4 games what we're capable of doing on the offensive end when we're organized, and especially the first 3 games, and then even the game against Phoenix, first game on this road trip. We had great spacing. We got great looks offensively. This is, like I said, the first game where, like you said, we regressed and we were god awful offensively because of our spacing. So it's nothing about us being a new team. It's nothing to us, it's nothing about us not knowing what to do, whatever. We know exactly what where we're supposed to be on the floor and what we're supposed to be doing. We just didn't do it tonight.
How are you doing physically? How are you doing physically?
Good.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of the Cavs? They're 5-0, and obviously they kind of controlled this one.
Yeah, they're playing well. Everyone on their team is doing their job. Donovan Mitchell got them off to a hot start, and then the rest of the guys just kind of follow. I feel like the way they play basketball, play the game, had us in rotations a lot. Obviously, we were switching, so we were kind of mismatched, around the board. But I think they put us in rotations where we're flying around, and they got a lot of open threes. Which they started in the first quarter, first half, very hot. So they're playing really good basketball. We'll see them again down the line, and we'll be more prepared for them.
Last question.
What did you think of Bronny getting his first basket? Just kind of a special moment for him to do.
That's his first basket So obviously, you always remember your first basket, but for him to do it here, I know it means the world to him. I know he got the basketball. Special memory, for him. It sucks that we didn't get the win, obviously, but I know it's something that he'll remember. Most guys, first basket probably is a little foggy, but for him, I think it's something that he'll remember, very vividly, just because of being here and all the history that he has here. Growing up here and being from here, and his dad, doing what he was able to do here. So. It's something that he'll definitely cherish for the rest of his life.
Thank you, AD.
JJ, there were the early turnovers, but was there anything in the first quarter you noticed, or energy-wise, or kind of Cleveland's aggressiveness that you didn't see matched and that carried forward from that point on?
Yeah, they're a really good basketball team. They spread you out, and they have guys with some pop, with Garland and Mitchell, and certainly LeVert and Ty Jerome played great. It's good to see him healthy. I think we just kind of got punched in the mouth a little bit, but we play good teams. can't afford a lot of mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes. Simple stuff sometimes, low man, rotations, not executing our switches early. They did a lot of things that forced us into those mistakes, but you play a good basketball team, you can't make that many mistakes. And we got down early and just couldn't recover. And frankly, you get down early and then you are at a deficit with turnovers. They had 17 more scoring opportunities. They generated 13 more threes. They beat us plus 33 in the 3-point battle. It was like, we had the lowest crash rate of the season. We had our highest limbo rate of the season. I was like, it's not a winnable game if you do those things. Turn the ball over 20 plus times. Not going to win those games. It's just math. So.
When it's that clear and that distinct, you're thinking about when you're going to the next game. Do you focus on this game, the film, and everything, or is there a part of it that you wash if the effort just wasn't good enough all around?
Oh, we're gonna have to watch this film. I mean, just based on the travel, we'll be able to do that. So.
JJ, how was AD look like at some point? He was limping. AR took a knee. Anything of any concern with either of those guys?
I haven't got an update on either of those guys.
One of the things that you've always said about your team is you've always liked their level of compete. Disappointing tonight to see that kind of maybe vaporize a little bit underneath what Cleveland did.
I don't know that it was that. Again, Garland and Mitchell off the dribble gave us a lot of problems. So you certainly can ask and want to have a little more pride on the basketball. I don't think the focus and attention to detail of what we were trying to do was great tonight. It didn't feel like it was an effort thing or a competitiveness thing. It was just kind of a regress, if that makes sense, to a lot of the stuff that we talked about this morning and pregame and some of the stuff we've talked about all season. I think that's where you kind of have to say, okay, we need to reemphasize some things and refresh some things, reteach some things, whatever it may be.
With the game out of hand in the fourth quarter, you put Bronny James in. Obviously, this fan base appreciates the James family. They were calling for it a lot of the second half. Just what did you make of his minutes and him scoring his first bucket back here?
Yeah, I told him congrats. It's a big deal to score your first NBA points, and the fact that he did it back here in Cleveland was cool. I guess that was a bright spot, Dave.
JJ, looking bigger picture with some of the trends from tonight, Kenny had said pregame that they felt they had to attack you guys in transition because of how good your half-court defense is. So I guess with that kind of context, like, what do you feel like the transition defense is at currently, and how do you feel like it can improve?
You have to stay out of limbo, number one, and your offense has to help your defense. So if you turn the ball over and you're not getting back, your transition defense is going to suck.